Well, ladies and gentlemen, how about that last video, eh? Little red. Oh, my phone's going off. Let me just have a look. Oh, no. I'll reply to that later. Right, anyway, sorry, where were we? Yes. Little red. Passed the MOT. Ran out of fuel on the way home, but passed the MOT nonetheless. Unfortunately, there wasn't any big burnout at the end of that video as promised for two reasons. One, she's not mapped very well yet, and I don't want to risk leaning out the engine at full whack, etc. So we need to do that first. And two, obviously it ran out of fuel, needed to get it home. Anyway, between then and now, we went out the other night, and I'll pop a few clips of the footage in. We went out the other night and did a little bit of mapping. It wasn't very good. It was absolutely pissing down with rain. Although I've got to be honest, although not turned all the way up yet, obviously, in the rain, handled surprisingly well, gripped up really quite well. You know, so yeah, not bad. Anyway, went out, did a little bit of mapping, got reasonably in a pretty good place. Came back home, looked over the logs, adjusted the logs, realised there was something really funny with my AFR table. It had just gone to 3.8 across the board. So that's strange. I'll go in and I'll adjust that. So I went into here, I went into AFR table 1 to here, and I amended all this to roughly where I think it should be for a safe-ish engine at this point, yeah? You know, we're sort of leaning down here, lean around cruise. We might lean this out a little bit tonight when we go out. But up here, 12, 11s, well, we're never going to get out that high anyway because the spring will open, the wastegate will open at about 12.5. Might put that up to 13, maybe, no, probably not 13. Might drop it down to 11, 10, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But anyway, so yeah, I've gone around, I've adjusted all of that, and then the car wouldn't start. And I could not, for the life of me, scratching my head, banging on brick walls, could not work out why the car wouldn't start. Got very frustrated with it. I was meant to use it this weekend just for a bit of fun. Got very frustrated for it. Slammed the door shut, went home. Anyway, came back down this evening ahead of our antics tonight, and had a look into it and realised that obviously with the AFR table targeting an AFR of 3.8, which actually should have been a lambda of 3.8, apparently must have set it up wrong when I very first sort of started programming the ECU anyway. With that now targeting the correct AFR, the VE table numbers were out by an absolute mile, and there was no fuel in it. It was unbelievably lean. There was no fuel, so it wouldn't start. So then had to go into my fuel table number 1 and readjust all these numbers. Now, I've never really showed you guys these numbers before, but each one of these obviously represents a certain amount of fuel going into the engine at any one time. These numbers down the bottom here were sort of like 1, 2, 6, 5, 4, which I did think was really strange because they should never be that low in the first place anyway. But anyway, it turns out that was the problem. So, long story short, changed the map, car wouldn't start. Changed the map again, car started. Now runs, now idles, roughly about right. Back to square one on the mapping though, because obviously now everything's completely different. But yeah, as it happens, we are now waiting for Dean just to turn up at the workshop this evening, which will hopefully not be in too long a time. And we are going to go and hit the road. Now, I don't know how much mapping will get done because there's not a massive amount of fuel in it. I'm going to go up the road and put £6 in it because that's all that's in my bank at the moment until I get paid next week. Poor place to be, really, innit? You know, £6 in the bank. But anyway, that is the situation. Whilst I'm waiting for Dean, one last little thing to do. Obviously, you saw on the last 2 videos, the camera's kind of sliding around or doing all this nonsense. I went and brought a roll cage mount for the GoPro so that hopefully the camera is a little bit more stable and a lot better for you guys whilst we're driving along. However, it's not as advertised. It holds the camera straight rather than sideways. But I'm going to try and put that on in a minute anyway, fiddle around and bugger with it off camera. And then I'll see you guys in a second when hopefully 2 things have happened. Dean's arrived and we're going for a drive, and I've managed to get this thing mounted on the roll cage in a respectable position that gives you guys a nice good view of what's going on. So yeah, let's do that.
2 hours later.
Right, ladies and gents, I'm just as nervous as the first time I drove it, and probably as nervous as I'm going to be to drive it every time from now on out. But we are here. Dean is mounting the laptop. You guys can see a reasonable amount. Now you're up there mounted on a decent camera. I don't know how shaky it's going to be, but we'll find out. We can bang our ignition on. Let me just get rid of the windscreen wipers. Hang on. I think the windscreen wipers are broken. Fine, let me push them down because we don't need them tonight because it's not raining. I think that nut's come off the back of it.
And it sounds like it's disconnected. Alright, let's hope it doesn't rain.
Actually, driving in the rain the other night's quite fun. It was. It surprised me how well it drove. How much it gripped and the likes. Right, this is on. Battery on. Right. Bam, bam, fuel spark. I won't put the charge cooler on until we get it warmed up and out there. Handbrake off. Neutral. Keep power keyed on. Launch off. Ignition on. Let's go.
Cut the car out because it wipes the map off the ECU and reburns
was keeping an eye on it.
Keep an eye on the ego as well.
fuel then. Right.
Yeah, if you basically when you get in here,
Burn that map in then for us, because we know that's pretty good.
that's burnt. What's happening? You can see where I've played with the figures. Basically, from essentially these cells down here.
Yeah, so we've
Well,
got
those
62,
initial ones.
haven't we? And then up here. So
Yeah,
what
so
we can do...
you're not getting above that 70%. So,
So
62,
what we can
65,
do-
68.
Yeah, is move all of that to 68, because we're definitely going to need more fuel than we've got.
We're
at
hitting
that
68.
point.
Oh, fucking hell.
Pass me that screwdriver on the dash there.
Yep.
That turbo housing is hot.
In the brown for me. Nope. Try that. No, hang on a minute. Cool. Good?
Yeah, just removing the cable tray. Oh, that's a bit dodgy though.
What's that?
Got an injector wire that's just twisted together there. I've never done anything with it.
Let me guess, that's lean cylinder, is it?
I think that's obstructing the throttle from going 100%.
100%.
So what's my TPS now? If you scoot that over so you can see TPS, which is there.
See, we're not getting much above.
No, only getting 50%.
Yeah. There's more out of it.
Telling me it goes like that on 50% throttle?
Like I say, you're not getting much. You've hit the 70%, but that's been it. Yeah, now we're 100.
That's 100, yeah?
Yeah.
So we're back to this problem, the throttle cable's not.
Excuse me. 53, 54. Yep. 50, 60 mark.
So we're not anywhere near 100% throttle.
No. That's what I'm saying. You're banging it, and it's literally just going straight horizontal across the table.
I thought we had that fairly well sorted.
I thought we did.
Unless
Yeah.
the clevis down here has moved any at all. Our pedal setup is.
Is it worth? Take it home, put it in the light, and let's have a look.
Oh yeah, let's take it back to the garage.
Let's have a look.
Let's take it back to the garage and see if we can solve it.
Yeah, because like you can see where I've changed it. You can see where we've picked out because you've just got this.
Yeah, this block
This
of.
massive block, and it's just fixed numbers above it.
rest. All in all, very successful drive. Loads of mapping done. The cruise and the drive's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we've just worked out, as you probably just heard, we've actually only been using 56% throttle at the very most.
Creeping on at 60%.
So yeah, if that's hanging at 60% and we're going that fast,
there's more in it.
I'm very excited to try 100%. Right,
We are not anywhere in that top.
Yeah, we're not anywhere above 70% throttle, are we? We've kind of peaked at 60 at the most.
Floating the 67 mark.
So
it's just been it really.
Yeah, let's have a look and see what we can do with this whole throttle then.